Hello, good evening to you. Welcome to the business news here on News360. My name is Alfredo Kansi. Let's go on to our first story this evening. The president of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce, Nana Dr. Appiagyei Dankwa, also says the chamber must make the private sector viable to enhance economic growth. He explains government cannot overcome the challenges in the economy without the participation of the private sector.
According to the Institute of Statistical, Social and Economic Research of the University of Ghana, the private sector employs 94% of the labor force in the country as against 6% by the government. Inaugurating the Council and the Central Executive Committee of the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce in Accra, President of the Chamber, Nana Dr. Appiagyei Dankwa, also underscored the role the private sector plays in economic development.
If you want to have that geometric type of growth, then of course there must be a change. And so if you look at the pace that Ghana is going, and if you want to strive for the middle income economy and to get to the next stage, then we must change our gear. We must wake up and we must be ready to lead the private sector very well.
He indicated that the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce is there to work with every government for the development of the nation. He observed it was unfair for farmers and businesses to access credit at the same interest rate.
We need to look at the interest rate for the farmers. If the shop owners go for loan and it's given to them at a minimum of about 30%, and the farmer goes to the same bank or financial institution for the same rate without any moratorium, what do you expect? In the first place, the first time that you are giving him a form to fill out on print, you are telling him that I want to take you to jail because the conditions can never be fulfilled.
He hinted of a 5-year strategic plan for Ghana National Chamber of Commerce, which will determine the direction of the chamber.
Chief Executive Officer of Daylex Finance, Ken Thompson, has urged government to channel more resources into the agricultural sector to accelerate the country's economic growth. He has indicated it was not conceivable Ghana can become an exporter of manufactured goods in the short to medium term.
According to the Chief Executive Officer of Daylex Finance, Ken Thompson, the focus should be on agriculture because that is where the country has a comparative advantage.
The game changes the private sector. We've known that, we've talked about it, but nothing happens. And I've been saying that the only way this country will get out of the situation which is in is through agric. We will continue to be poor if our farmers are poor. Where do we have comparative advantage? It's agriculture. We have to put our resources into agriculture.
He observed corruption has been a bane on the country's development.
But we have to deal with the elephant in the room. We can see it, we can smell it, we can feel the effects. We say we have no evidence. Corruption undermines everything that we do. Forget about cost of doing business, it's all down to corruption.
He said contribution of agriculture to the country's gross domestic product has dropped by 12.8% in just 7 years, dropping from 31.8% in 2009 to 19% as of September 2015.
Now, the Association of Plastic Waste Managers has called on government to shut down plastic producing companies that have failed to comply with the directive to use oxo-biodegradable additives in producing the products. 5 months after the Ministry of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation issued the directive, 85% of flexible plastic manufacturers are yet to comply.
Data available at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, AMA, indicates that out of the over 2,500 tons of plastic waste generated in Accra daily, 1,500 tons, representing 60%, is collected. This has been blamed for the often extreme pollution of the streets, beaches or sewages. The Plastic Waste Management Program Ghana says government's directive for all plastic manufacturers to use oxo-biodegradable additives in plastic production is meant to sanitize the plastic industry and must be enforced to the latter.
Only 15% of the manufacturers are using it. I think that the EPA must crack the whip. Just close down the factories. I mean, if they start from one point, close one or two factories, I believe that the others will easily comply.
The plastic waste managers say manufacturers who defy the directive must not be tolerated.
This directive from the Ministry of Environment didn't come from nowhere. It was a resolution based on consistent discussions by various stakeholders, including the plastic manufacturers.
That's it for business.